Hey Marvel fans, are you ready for a deep dive into the long-awaited Daredevil Born Again series on Disney+? Let me tell you right now, this isn't just another superhero show. It's a complete game changer for Marvel TV. The Daredevil franchise is back, and I'm absolutely buzzing. No more waiting for something good enough to happen. This series has shown us what peak Marvel looks like after years of hit-or-miss content in the Disney+ era. So, let's break down all the juicy details. What's going on with the Marvel Defenders? What does the future hold for Daredevil in both movies and TV shows? And most importantly, how does Born Again stack up against the iconic Netflix series? You know the one I'm talking about. The Daredevil Season 1 from Netflix, which is probably one of the best things Marvel has ever created. Better than some of their movies? Yup. More gritty, more grounded, and way more emotionally resonant than we've seen in most of the MCU offerings. When Born Again was announced, I'll be honest, I was worried. Disney Plus has a tendency to Disneyfy its shows, stripping away what made the original Daredevil series so compelling. But guess what? Marvel didn't mess this up. No, they did something surprising. They nailed it. Born Again is a love letter to the Netflix series while also pushing things even further, especially with a bigger budget and more freedom to push boundaries. And don't get me started on the fight scenes. But hey, let's break it all down because this is about more than just a new season of Daredevil. This is the return of a beloved hero, a deep dive into the Marvel universe, and a massive shift in how we should expect TV to be made from now on. So, grab your popcorn, settle in, and let's talk about everything Marvel got right and wrong with Daredevil Born Again. Let's get one thing straight right off the bat. Daredevil. Born Again is not just a cash grab or Disneyfied version of what we had before. That's a legitimate fear I think we all shared when Disney Plus first took over Marvel TV shows. I mean, let's face it, after what happened to the Defenders and Iron Fist, we were all a little concerned about what was going to happen when Daredevil came into the Disney fold. Would they sanitize it? Would they pull punches? Because honestly, a Daredevil show without the gritty fight scenes, the blood-soaked violence, and the morally gray storytelling would be a tragedy. Thankfully, they did not go that route. I can't tell you how relieved I am to see Charlie Cox back as Matt Murdock. He's just as good, if not better, than he was before, bringing that same raw intensity and emotional depth to the role. And yes, Vincent D'Onofrio is back as Kingpin, and let me tell you, he's still terrifying. These two are as electric as ever, and they've got some serious competition with the new cast members and story arcs that have been added. But let's talk about the thing that's likely to catch everyone's attention: the fight scenes. Oh my god, the fight scenes. If you thought the hallway fight from the original Netflix season was the peak of superhero choreography, you're in for a treat. With all the Disney money backing this series, they've been able to bring Daredevil's combat skills closer to what you would expect from a comic book. The fight choreography has ramped up in a major way, with faster, more acrobatic, and downright brutal fights that leave the audience on the edge of their seat. Daredevil is moving in ways we could only dream about in the original series. And honestly, I'm here for it. This is exactly what we needed. The fight scenes are better, but they don't overshadow the storytelling. This is the perfect balance. Now let's talk about some of the behind-the-scenes drama. It's no secret that Marvel's TV shows have had a rough patch. After shutting down Marvel Television and giving full control to the film division, the results were mixed. WandaVision was a hit, but shows like The Falcon and The Winter Soldier and Moon Knight felt like they were missing something. When Born Again was first announced, Marvel didn't just want to make another good enough show, they wanted to make something great. So what did they do? They went back to the creators who made the original Daredevil so damn good. Yes, I'm talking about the original fight coordinator, the same people behind the Punisher Netflix series, and of course, Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio themselves. When they brought these folks back, they filmed a completely new pilot, which, according to reports, was so much better than the 6 episodes they had filmed previously that they scrapped it all and started over. Talk about a major course correction. And from what we've seen in the first few episodes, it was totally worth it. If you're worried about how Daredevil Born Again compares to the original Netflix series, I'm happy to tell you that it's not a step down in any way. In fact, the first few episodes go as hard as the original Daredevil Season 1 did, with some moments actually exceeding expectations. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're still in the early stages, and as with anything, we need to see how the story unfolds. So, how does Born Again hold up when you're measuring it against Netflix's Daredevil? Let me be honest, it's a hard question to answer. The first season of Daredevil was near perfect. It was dark, gritty, and emotionally rich, with exceptional world building. Season 1 had something special that hasn't been replicated yet by other Marvel shows. But so far, Born Again doesn't fall short. The pacing feels like a return to form, with a plot that doesn't rush things and allows characters to breathe. But where Born Again may surpass the original is in its fight choreography and the overall sense of spectacle. With Disney's financial backing, they're able to bring Daredevil's powers to life in a way that the original show couldn't. More acrobatic, more intense, and just more in terms of scope. They've clearly used all their resources to create a better-looking version of the show, and it's paying off. Let's talk about the future. What does the Born Again series mean for the Marvel Universe and the Defenders characters in general? We know that Daredevil isn't the only one coming back. Jon Bernthal is reprising his role as Frank Castle, the Punisher, in a big way, and let me tell you, he's still the best version of the Punisher out there. He'll be a key player in this season, which is excellent news for fans of his Netflix series. After Punisher Season 2, there was a lot of uncertainty about whether Bernthal would return to the role, especially considering the shift in Marvel's tone under Disney. But now that Disney has become more flexible with mature content, and with their recent foray into rated R material, it's clear that Frank Castle is back for good. Fans of the Punisher series are going to be very happy with how they handled his return. We also need to talk about Karen Page and Foggy Nelson, two characters who were instrumental in Matt Murdock's journey throughout the Netflix series. Not bringing them back would have been insane. Their chemistry with Cox is essential to the show's heart, and I'm so glad Marvel didn't ignore that. Born Again recognizes that and gives these characters the love they deserve, with Foggy's ride or die status clearly intact. I can already hear some of you asking, why did it take Marvel so long to get it right? Well, the short answer is that the old method didn't work. After Marvel shut down Marvel Television, they realized quickly that movies aren't the same as TV shows. Different creative teams were needed. It wasn't just about taking the movie creators and putting them in charge of TV content. They had to go back and make adjustments to how they approached making TV shows. Born Again is the first show to really take advantage of the new system, and it's showing in every frame. It took a while to figure it out, but now that they have, expect more shows like this in the future. So here's the bottom line. Daredevil. Born Again is a massive win for Marvel TV. It's definitely going to be one of the best shows of the year, maybe even one of the best things Marvel's done on TV since the Netflix days. While some minor issues may come up as the series progresses, everything we've seen so far is a clear indication that Born Again is a step in the right direction for the MCU on TV. I'm absolutely thrilled to see where they go with this. Born Again is undoubtedly the best thing Marvel has put out on TV since the original Daredevil days. If you're like me and worried that Disney Plus would ruin everything, rest easy. This show has the soul of the original Daredevil, but with a bigger budget and more creative freedom. Stay tuned for more breakdowns and Easter egg videos, and let me know your thoughts on the first episodes in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more updates on all things cinematic. Catch you next time on Cinematic Wonder.